fourth round of the Neucom Touring Car Championship takes place here at the Colina International circuit here at the countryside of Málaga, Spain. Eugene Max hits on pole as he intends to expand his championship lead. Now let's address the first major news item, that being the controversial manufacturer switch by Scuderia Grosseculo over to Ferrari. Much to the dismay of the Neucom paddock, Neucom sanctioning body approved the sudden change after Fabio Villabasa's stunning feature win from the round prior. The Alfa Romeo that his use had since been discontinued. Grosseculo wasn't the only team to make a change to their model, however, as Neucom Motors also made a switch in lieu of the aforementioned swap, this time from the Accord to the Civic. Now, bear in mind that this has absolutely no bearing on the performances and whether that enhances or harms them, whereas Grosseculo went from a top 5 contender to now a very serious championship threat. 2020 Drivers' Champion Jeffrey Finguy harshly criticized the notion of the approval, calling it, and I quote, blatant bribery to gain the upper hand and a disgrace to the integrity of competition. It's unclear whether Finguy was fined for the comments criticizing both Grosseculo and the sanctioning body for the sudden move over to Ferrari. From, if you recall, was previously ran by Finguy Saitomi Motorsports, who have since moved over to endurance racing. 18 laps will contest the feature here at Colina International, the longest circuit on the calendar for this year. The track's sudden change in elevation and rhythm has provided fantastic racing in the past, and we should expect no less of it this weekend. Demax will take the green flag here for the feature race at Spain. Green flag is dropped and away we go. Vandenberg with a fantastic start on the outside line entering turn 1. This is a pretty long front straightaway as we head into turn 1. Blake Warren with a fantastic start gets by Rena Hirose, and it looks like Takahashi as well as he sends it 3 wide in the middle. Turn 2, Warren still holding out in second right now to Demax, but he's on a really bad line. Once you get that position, that outside line might be strong for now, but it gets very tight on the exit of the second right-hander. He still holds out on Demax for second. Vandenberg has taken the lead of the race, and this is a fantastic start for the 98. He has needed this kind of performance here for a while. Petronas Mercedes has been putting a bit of pressure on him due to his disappointments as of recent. But meanwhile, we have the two Grosseculos. Bit of contact there between Rosales, and I believe that was Fabio Villabaza. That was a little close for comfort. Between the two, that was Rio Lucas, excuse me. Now then, as we call it the drop, this is a pretty dangerous section of the track where side-by-side is definitely discouraged. As you see Patrick Smith almost getting into the side of Marco Casteca. Or I'm sorry, that was Dylan Trollenberg, my bad. And especially at this downhill section is also a pretty dangerous part of the racetrack, but it's quite the spectacle for fans, especially sitting on the top of the mountainside, where it was safe enough for them to stand close enough to the racing surface. But nevertheless, here comes Vince Freeze down pit road. I believe he was black flagged for a jump start, and that's probably what it was. So again, another tough break there for the rookie Vince Freeze, the short track ringer who can't seem to really catch a break in this rookie season with Midnight United. And that's a stop and go penalty, and back out he goes. So Vince Freeze has a lot of work to do here. Meanwhile, 3 wide for position. This is all for what is effectively 19th place, and that was Morales going off track. That was not an ideal position for him to be in, but regardless, that's gonna hurt him. He's gonna drop about 3 or 4 spots right there. Still middle 3 wide with Kiki Laukkanen and Patrick Smith, and that was not in the top 20. This was the top 15. Forgive me for that. When contact between Laukkanen and Patrick Smith, Smith goes wide, and Laukkanen, I think, is gonna go right through. Yes, he does. The switchback is such a commonplace thing to see here from the drop as well. There's Rena Hirose swinging it wide. Gonna try to hold out as much traction as possible. Warren is gonna slip right by with relative ease. That's Fabio Villabaza right there in 5th place. The top 5 under kind of a blanket there with about 1.5 seconds separating them in total. But Hirose has a lot of work to do. She's DNF'd in both the feature and sprint race in Mexico, where she had a chance to score really big points, so a lot of pressure's on her right now to really be a threat for the championship. She's right now sitting just within the top 10, but if things don't go away now, she could drop even further. Could find herself out of contention to defend her title pretty early in the year. Mind you, there's only 15 races in the year. Kirk Vandenberg on lap 3 goes a little bit wide, and that's going to allow Eugene Demax to take advantage of this situation. He's going to try the outside line, see if that does him any favor at all. And it just might. He might have cleared him. No, he gets on the curb. He got a little bit loose on exit. So Vandenberg is going to be able to defend his position right then and there. And there's Vita Bassa looking past, I believe that was Hirose, yes it was, and I believe that's Vincenzo Focasato back as well. And I would be correct, that is Focasato. In fact, in that battle for the top 5. But yeah, this is what I mean when this racetrack really gives you entertaining stuff. Max runs a bit wide, overshooting the corner just a little bit there. There's Jeffrey Finguy right now. He is in a running for a top 6 position right now, fighting with Takahashi. Takahashi with a pretty aggressive move. Watch out, watch out. Oh, cuts right across the nose of the 92. And smooth sailing for Finguy. Great overtake by him. He hasn't quite cleared a 6. Now he has. I take that back. And that is Tatiana Rosales doing battle with Takahashi right now. They're both rookies, respectively, in their class. And we got a lot more battles in the back. There's Sebastian Van Dalen running a bit pretty wide off the exit. That's going to allow for Scott Roush and Jude Harris to go through. And I believe the 47 of Hudson Williams has gone through as well, and he has. But yeah, this isn't only limited to what happens up the front, but this is everywhere. This racetrack brings plenty of battles on track, as we're seeing right now in the carousel. They have since flattened this out per safety concerns over in Formula Alpha when they ran this racetrack about 5 years ago, until having left because of a nasty crash that nearly killed Antonio Gracia when he was running for Grassuculo over there. Wow, that was a lot to cover with the history of this racetrack here in a little bit. There's Martin van der Zijde looking to overtake Barsha Johansson. That's not a safe spot to do it. Ooh, this is getting a bit tight there. Close quarters is kind of just a commonplace thing here at this racetrack, and it looks like van der Zijde is going to make a very clean overtake there on Johansson. But of course, this is in the back of the grid. I mean, there are no points to be earned or gained or lost here. Lap 4 now. Vandenberg trying to run away with this race lead, but he does overshoot turn 2 a little bit. That's really going to allow Demax to pounce the attack again, and he does go through. Blake Warren tries to follow as well. He almost wipes himself out with the line that he took entering. He was cutting in to really try to maximize his corner exit, but that's now going to compromise his run down this straightaway here for Reno Hirose, who now is going to apply the pressure to Blake Warren for 3rd. And now, look at this is all the way back to 9th place. So anyone has really a shot to take the lead here. 9th, 10th place, actually. So 10 cars within 3 seconds of each other now. As, speaking of more midfield battles, Osakawa, a bit argy-bargy there with Schwallenberg. This is for what is considered 19th place. This is points paying position that will be inverted for the sprint race. But Schwallenberg able to hold off this whole group of cars. The GM Team USA cars, that being Mitchell Carter and Nathan Norman, they've struggled in qualifying for the feature, so they're out just outside the top 20 right now. So Nathan Norman, I believe, has the position, yellow flag on track. I'm not sure what that might be. There could be an incident back behind them. Oh no, safety car is deployed. So safety car's been deployed. Let's see what that's for. It looks like we're focused on Yoshiko Sakamoto as she sends it off track into the tires. Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, I'd be as frustrated if I were Sakamoto. That much I'll say. Demax takes the green flag once more. He's right now, he got the lead from Vandenberg on the lap of the safety car. We are now back to green on what is now lap number 7. And Demax trying to hold off Vandenberg. Vandenberg had a really good restart right there. I can't speak on behalf of Blake Warren there. Does Hirose have rear end damage? I can't tell. It looks like Hirose is going to try to run down as best he can. The top two have been really at each other's throats here for the lead. They have not given an inch to each other at all. And it looks like Hirose is going to take a contact between Hirose and Demax. Hirose's off and into the wall. Another disaster run for Reno Hirose, as she has been herself for what is now the 2nd weekend in a row. I know her and Demax have had a bit of history from Canada, but I don't think Hirose was really helping her case at all. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Hopefully everyone can avoid. Watch out, Kosteka! Oh. And that's both cars out. And Hirose, extremely disappointed in that incident happening there, but in my personal opinion, I really think she should have minded her P's and Q's there in avoidable stuff like that. And this is going to seriously hurt her championship chances, especially if her championship rival Demax is effectively running away with the lead right now. Demax was not at fault for this incident at all. I kind of just think it was just a wrong place, wrong time there situation deal for Reno Hirose, and that will cost her the lead. Now, we look at Scott Roush, who was called into pit road the moment the green flag dropped. He was falling behind. Something was up with his car, but the 36 team decided to call him in anyway. Or that must be the wrong graphic there. I don't know. Yeah, Roush back out on track. He's got a lot of ground to make up. I wonder if they're doing a massive undercut strategy here because of the safety car that came out. I don't know. We'll have to see. Vandenberg now under attack and has been under attack from Vita Bassa. Vita Bassa sends it down the inside, almost running himself off with Eugene Demax. That was a big moment there for the 01. Vandenberg, having been under pressure by Demax for so long, I'm surprised he hasn't crashed by now. As look at Fabio Vita Bassa, he's going to go through around the outside of turn 2 of Demax. Focusato is looking to follow as well. We have a yellow flag on track, looking to be at the end of Sector 3. Or no, this is Sector 1, I apologize. Now we have to have a look at what happened here, as that's Veselowski getting turned by Rosales hard into the tire wall off the exit of pit road. And that was a pretty nasty impact for both drivers. Let's have a look again, see what Rosales was doing. And yeah, I'm glad he's fine. Veselowski's fine, but I can't quite tell what Rosales was doing on the entry to turn 1. Did she? Yep, she just ran him right over. I really don't know how to put this. That was a bit overzealous there, Rosales. Meanwhile, as a safety car was deployed, Vandenberg doing everything he can to defend that race lead from Vita Bassa. Mind you, this is a race to the flag, so long as you do it safely. And Vita Bassa through on Vandenberg. No, not quite. I take that back. Yes, he is. He's through. The controversial upgrades are definitely putting Grossaculo at the advantage here, as Vincenzo Focusato also got through onto Max as he's running in third. Rumor has it that it's Vita Bassa that is the #1 driver. He's got all the best parts. He's got the most up-to-date parts for everything, whereas his two teammates, Rio Lucas, who's been a long-time veteran in the series, and Focusato, not really getting much of anything else aside from maybe the R&D parts, but it seems to be working out for Focusato, but I can't speak on behalf of Rio Lucas, who's been pretty inconsistent so far at the start of the season. Meanwhile, heading back into the start-finish line, here's Murilo Souza Cardoso doing battle with Donovan Cage and Barsha Johansson. Johansson makes contact with him, contact again, to maybe chop his nose off at the entry of the last hairpin, and Johansson trying to run Cardoso as wide as possible, but to no avail, as Cardoso takes the yellow flag in that position as well. So then, Vita Bassa is going to take the green... hold up. Is it just me, or has I sent some rear end damage on him? And where's Blake Warren? Was there contact that we missed under the safety car? And I wonder how much that's going to hinder his straight line speed and performance, if at all. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but anyways, Vita Bassa to the lead right now with Vandenberg following, but he is falling back into the clutches of Vincenzo Focusato, so this really is looking to be a Grossaculo 1-2 finish, provided everything lines up for them. So let's go check on Blake Warren right quick. Oh yeah, he's running a modified pretty much. I don't even know what happened there. Oh. And there's nothing from the stewards on that? Interesting. Yeah, nothing new from the Grassaculo camp, said Warren's engineer. These radio communications, as I should have prefaced, in italics, those are the drivers, and in regular font, that is the race engineer and crew chief talking with them. Focusato now trying to overtake the 98 for second place. Max is really following suit here, and there's Jeffrey Finguy in the 92. Don't count him out either from the saddle position. Finguy sends it in 3 wide for third. Focusato is wide, and that's going to allow Finguy to go through a double overtake in one singular corner. Fantastic stuff there from the 2020 Drivers' Champion. Finguy through for third, as Max and Focusato are going to fall back into the clutches of, there's Max Kanade, Kei Takahashi, and Yuki Tamura, as Tamura was nowhere in qualifying. Now she's up there fighting for what is a top 5 spot. That being, oh no, that is Tamura up there. My mistake. So Finguy now applying the pressure to Vandenberg. Vandenberg managed to get back through on the 92. And Finguy, for now, is he going to do anything to fight this? Yes, he gets around on the outside. Great overtake there from Jeffrey Finguy. Vandenberg is starting to fall apart at the seams. But this battle for fourth is not over, as Max trying to get around Vandenberg around the inside. He's going to have the advantage off the exit. And yes, he does. I'm sorry, this was for second place. That's Vita Bassa still out there in the lead. He's expanding his lead. Even so, this could be an easy win there for Vita Bassa. I apologize for that. So that's Max now in third. Vandenberg seems to be really falling apart. He might have used his tires up, trying to hold off the 23 in the early stages of this race. So this is not going to plan for him at all. Meanwhile, here's Yuki Tamura now on Max Kanade. Watch out. Ooh, that was close quarters there between both drivers. Kanade doing everything he can to hold off the 2, but Tamura's tenacity is probably going to force her through. Yeah, she's peeking for a hole to run through, and yes, she's found it, but she's not going to be able to get by him this time around, as Kanade had the better exit. As, Kanade gets a little bit loose coming down the hill, but was lucky to hold on to that position. There's Rio Lucas back there, not really contending for anything at the moment. But Tamura, right now, Vandenberg is boxing this lap, so strategy coming into play here. Vandenberg going for the undercut. As we now head into what is now was a handful of laps to go. Vandenberg, the first one to come down pit road. He might try to go for an alternate strategy here compared to what everyone else is. I don't know if everyone else is going to join him here. And it looks like the 6 of Takahashi is pitting as well, but Tamura is not. So Neucom trying to experiment with a strategy here. And this is what I just mentioned just now. Takahashi down pit road, whereas Tamura stays out. I wonder if they're doing a bit of priority here with Tamura, since Tamura presently is the fastest car on the track. So it's just Kanade and Takahashi for now. Anyone else coming down pit road? Looks like it's Mitchell Carter on the 88. He's kind of been nowhere in the top 20 for most of this race, and I thought Jude Harris was coming down pit road, but that was not the case at all. A moment here for Sean Angel. Gets cut off there by Bosi Markjanovic, and that's going to allow Patrick Smith to go right through. That's a pretty uncharacteristic move there by Angel to be a bit aggressive, but he is driving the wheels off of this thing. Car number 42 for Midnight United Racing. This really has no business being up here, but the talent that Sean Angel has is simply unmatched. As Angel right now falls under the clutches of Nathan Ormond and probably the 63 of Arturo Morales, but Angel gets a better exit heading down the hill, and that's going to allow Angel to, for the time being, maintain position. And Blake Warrensman dispatched to come down pit road. And yeah, you mentioned something about Roush flying out there. That's because Roush had the freshest tires out of everybody since he pitted coming to the end of lap 6, beginning of lap 7 on the first restart. So that's Lula Lamona down pit road as well. Vita Bossa now starting to lose a little bit of time here to Jeffrey Finguy. Now it's going to be a bit close there for the 92 to try to close up the gap to the 01. Those two are bitter rivals on and off the track. There is no more of a volatile relationship between Jeffrey Finguy and Fabio Vita Bossa. Putting those two in the same room is effectively just mixing water with oil. But Vita Bossa is losing time to the 92. That 92 is approaching fast. Despite this performance upgrade, that rear end damage might be hurting him now. As heading down the hill now this time around. Oh, he doesn't have enough fuel to finish. So everyone's going to come down pit road with 2 laps to go. And I wonder if everybody else is going to follow. Let's have a look here at the pit entry. And it looks like Vita Bossa, Finguy, he's debating on it. Yes, he's following. He might have lost some time there in the entry, but everybody else is following. Now I wonder who's going to be the curious one to really stay out here and figure out what the strategy call is here. As it looks to me that the leaders are just, they don't have enough to finish. Wait a second, is that a pink car I see down there? That's Scott Roush. He's going to come out in the lead. Scott Roush, coming to 2 laps to go, is going to lead the race. There's Vita Bossa off pit road right now. Roush right now, the complete opposite right now on very old tires. And yeah, I was thinking there was a scoring error too, but no, he's in the lead right now. This is an unprecedented strategy call that will actually work out for the 26. Yeah, BWT Team Renault, I had no idea what they were thinking on the 26, but here we are. Roush is leading with 2 laps to go, and he's got a hard-charging 01 quickly approaching. And we know the performance difference between both cars. It is night and day between them, and especially with the old tires that Roush has. I know for a fact he has enough fuel to finish, but I can't really speak on behalf of his tires at all. Roush is doing everything under his power to maintain composure to the best of his ability here to perhaps get his first feature race win as a rookie in a Neucom Touring Car Championship, and in no better place than La Colina. We've seen underdogs get top 5s and podiums in feature races in the past year at this racetrack, but never a rookie at a lower ranked team than BWT Team Renault here at this racetrack. This is a completely unprecedented of Scott Roush, or anyone to really expect themselves to come back out up front, especially at this close to the end of the race. And now, heading down the hill, you might see a red 01 car approaching in frame. Roush had a 6-second lead at the beginning of the lap, so we'll see what becomes of this now. Roush going to take the white flag. Car number 26, and yeah, don't worry, kiddo, you got this. Is probably the last thing I want to be hearing from every race engineer right now, especially as if Roush goes wide in turn 2. This might have costed 26 the win, as Vita Bossa is quickly approaching, as you saw him in the frame on the entry to turns 1 and 2. Roush trying to nurture the car home as best he can to distance himself between the victory and Vita Bossa there, trying to steal it away from him. There's Vita Bossa in frame right now. I would be sweating bullets right now if I were to 26. Meanwhile, battle for third between Kei Takahashi and Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy, I don't know what happened with him. He did not have a good pit exit at all. Takahashi is looking to go through. Is there a chance that they overfueled the car? And that's why Takahashi's faster. I kind of wonder about that. Finguy a little bit wide on the entry there. The right-hander, that's going to allow Vandenberg to go through, as well as Yuki Tamura. That is 3 spots hemorrhaged in a singular sector right there. And Finguy is probably not too pleased about this at all. And yeah, I'm not really surprised either. Yeah, I'm sure you guys do, because that was ill done there by your strategy. That definitely cost Finn Guy a podium right there. Meanwhile, Kirk Vandenberg with the undercut is gonna cut right into the path of Kei Takahashi and take the podium for himself. Great comeback there from the 98, who was already struggling in the late stages of the stint before he made the undercut. The undercut was a good call for him. This much I'll admit, I didn't think he was going to come back from this at all and just steal a podium away just like that. He is flying out there in car number 98. But we have more important matters to address here. Vito Bossa got that rear end stripped so he could get some more speed, if that makes any sense at all. So Roush, under a lot of pressure, this is about a 3-second gap between himself and the 01, but that might not matter anymore. Heading into the final hairpin, Scott Roush, rookie sensation, Formula Alpha reject, for failing in Formula Beta, is going to take his maiden series victory here at La Colina, and no better place to do it here. What a fantastic run there for Scott Roush. Meanwhile, this is the battle for 19th place between Genjing Peiling and Dylan Schwallenberg. Or I'm sorry, this is the final points paying position between the two. Maybe if that. But here comes Mitchell Carter. Mitchell Carter has a run on Schwallenberg. Pailing's going to hold on to the position, and Schwallenberg's going to lose it at the last possible moment. The sprint pole has been stripped from him just like that. And he'll have to settle for 21st. Mitchell Carter will be on pole for the sprint race. And the latest Scott Roush, he was crying on the podium as the award ceremony were handed out to him. Vito Bossa, a valiant effort to finish in second place. He led the most laps today. He's going to get the 5 bonus points. Vandenberg on the podium. Takahashi, Tamura, Fingai, Kanati, Focusato, 8th. That was a bad result for him from where he was earlier. Mark Janovic, 9th. The top 10 for Rio Lucas. So Grassakuo, a top 10. Great result for them today. Laukinen, Smith, Ormond, Demax with a terrible pit stop. Falls to 14th. Osakawa, great drive for her in 15th. Morales, Bud Fuchs, Sean Angel, Genjing Peiling, and Mitchell Carter will be starting the first 3 positions inverted come the sprint race. I cannot stress enough how underdog stories can make the most out of even the humblest of drivers, and Scott Roush certainly has earned that victory today in the accolade of being a Neucom Touring Car Championship feature race winner, especially for a humble team like BWT Team Renault. Now the expectations are a little bit higher there for the young rookie. We'll see what becomes of him in the sprint race. As we now line up the grid for the sprint race here at La Colina for 10 laps that will contest the 75-kilometer race. Until then, let's get down to the starting line. Mitchell Carter is going to lead in the green flag for the 10-lap sprint here at the round of Spain. A great start for Mitchell Carter and Sean Angel. A terrible start for Genjing Peiling, who started in 3rd and is now going to fall to the clutches of Bud Fuchs and Arturo Morales, as Morales is going to get by to both of them before the exit of turn 2. Almost meeting the Here comes the Max, splitting the middle between himself and Fuchs. He's going to go for 3rd. Right off the bat, Demax had a really poor finishing performance after a botched pit stop by the East pit crew. But now it's Mitchell Carter, Sean Angel, Eugene Demax up front right now. Paling is being inhaled by pretty much everyone else that's faster than her in a moment, and it's just become a miserable start for her. Down to the drop now, Fuchs just ahead of Morales. There's Nathan Orman in position for a top 5 as well. Orman did finish in the top 20 in the feature race. Meanwhile, we got a battle for 20th here. That's Max Kanani, Jeffrey Fingai, and Kirk Vandenberg. They're all in this big pack, fighting for every track position they can get. As Kanani is going to try to clear his teammate around the carousel, but Fingai obviously is going to have the better exit. As he does, he cuts off the 98 as well to secure that track position as well. And Fingai's through. Kanani not quite through. When you have a lot of really fast cars in the midfield, it becomes very, very intense on the track as there's a stop and go penalty for Sakamoto. Her week has not gotten much better. She's gonna pull into pit road. Lap 2 now. Demax doing battle with Angel. Angel contact between the two of them. Demax almost hits the guardrail off of 2. That was a very close call there for the 23. He's gonna lose third to Bud Fuchs in the 78. And yeah, I don't know if the stewards are investigating that one. They might have been blind to some of the avoidable contacts there for much of the weekend, if I say so myself. But Demax back through on Fuchs for third. He's going to try and chase down the 42 again for second. Demax was not pleased with how he was raced there by Sean Angel. Angel doing everything he can to just maintain track position and salvage as many points as possible. Fuchs running himself wide later in the lap to allow Morales to go through. Arturo Morales has been pretty quiet through most of the start of this year. He's now up to 4th as Patrick Smith, teammate to Eugene Demax, is now up to 5th. Fuchs has dropped 4 positions since then. There's, or 3 actually. He's about to fall to the clutches of Rio Lucas. Speaking of, he falls to him and he's about to fall to Bosi Marki. Markjanovic has had a really solid performance himself in the SRT. So Fuchs down 5 spots in a matter of 1 lap. This is how much performance really matters at this racetrack. And if you don't have the means to handle yourself up front, you have no reason to. Contact between Yuki Tamura and Vincenzo Focusato as Focusato hits the retaining wall. We're going to look at this again on Focusato's POV. I mean, there was a lot of space between Focusato and Tamura. Tamura was just trying to get the better exit, and they might have met in the middle there. So that incident is under review by the stewards. We're going to have to see what... Whoa, that was fast. They decided not to take action against Tamura, as we have a yellow flag for an incident that happened on the end of the 2nd lap. Jude Harris setting it up on the 47, who gets into Blake Warren. Warren's bad weekend gets even worse. Same is said for Hudson Williams, who really hasn't had much go for him. He was in position for a points finish in Mexico until he was unceremoniously taken out by Tamura in the feature. And, well, yeah, make what you will of those comments there by the 47 there. And Demax, once again, having run himself off the track. This time he was even nowhere close to the 42 of Angel. I'm guessing he's just been intimidated by the lap prior. And Demax is kind of just losing his own composure here. So Wild's race engineer tries to calm him down. And, yeah, there's radio communications there with Tamura. So Tamura is just going to mind her own business and just run her own race at this point. Rena Hirose is up to 25th place from 37th on the grid. She started with effectively dead last from the start, and that is when Sakamoto jumped her and got the penalty. But Hirose is just on a tear, trying to gain and salvage as many points as she possibly can. She's going to try to get herself into a top 15, who right now is applying pressure to the 77 of Barsha Johansson. Now, we have a battle for what is a final points game position between Kirk Vandenberg, Max Canati, and Vincenzo Focusato. And that was Focusato setting it in there. 3 wide, that wasn't going to work at all, as Focusato backs himself and Fitabasa up. Yeah, that text in bold there was race control, and they're having none of what Scuderia Grossakula has to say about that. Yeah, anyway. Angel, now, under fire from Demax. He's making mistakes himself over here, as now he's going to fall into the clutches of the 23 if he doesn't get it together soon. He's trying to close up on Mitchell Carter in the 88. It wouldn't surprise me if Mitchell Carter starts to run his tires a bit too hot early in the run. It is a sprint race, but tire wear is definitely a thing here on this track, regardless of whether it's a feature or a sprint. As Morales is under pressure now from Nathan Orman for 4th place. Tatiana Rosales, off to a pretty poor start to the weekend, makes contact with the 45 of Donovan Cage. She's going to try to loop it back around. As Cage contacts between both cars, watch out, into the tire wall they go on the entrance of pit road, and that is absolutely going to be a safety car. Second incident in a row there for Rosales, but I don't really know if that was her fault this time around. It looks like the 45 might have come up the track into, yeah, I don't know, they kind of just met in the middle. And not a bad take there from Rosales, as Baxter Motorsports has a lot of hate in the paddock for many reasons, whether it be political or what have you. Richard Baxter does like playing himself with the sponsors there. And yeah, Mitchell Carter has lost traction. This is a safety car lap right now, so Angel right now is all over the back of the 88 car, and they're going to pit him for, see what, if they can address any other issues with the 88, but he is all over the place. He's going left and right. Angel contacts with the 88. That's going to force Carter to compromise this line. Actually, no, Carter's going to maintain out of position as Angel trying to recompose himself from the contact with Carter. That was almost an accident between the both of them down at the drop. But Carter, once again, doing everything he can to hold off the 42 of Sean Angel. DeMax is following as well. He's going to try to maybe take the race lead back, taking advantage of Tamura being further down the order. Tamura, as if I recall, might be his biggest threat in the championship right now. Down the hill we go. Carter compromising his line is going to allow Angel to go right through for the race lead. Angel was through. Brilliant overtake there by the 42. Midnight United Racing. This is the reason why Angel was a dark horse for the championship with Vingai Saitomi for many, many years. And there's the praises there for from the garage area. That was a brilliant overtake, and DeMax is through on Mitchell Carter. Do they take the yellow? Is Nathan Orman going to go through on him? No. Orman is going to sit back and forth, but he's going to inherit third place nevertheless. Meanwhile, under the safety car, we had another spin-off on the drop. That's Vincenzo Focusato spinning himself off and unfortunately getting himself stuck in the sand trap. There's another wreck that happened a little further ahead. I believe that was Vislavsky that went around. And that's no good for Focusato. He's effectively out of the points run for today. Oh, that's a compromised line there from Scott Roush to attack Vislavsky. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what to think of that one there. It was a really bad spot to be in for Scott Roush to lose the car on his own. And yeah, he just was in a panic and, like, I really don't know if you can slow the car much more through there. Roush did save the car, but Vislavsky I don't think has said much on the matter of the radio. As Genji Paling has been called to pit road. Angel takes the lead on the restart on lap number 6. And Orman now has a really good restart, applying the pressure to the 23. He's wasting no time on Eugene DeMax whatsoever. Patrick Smith sitting lurking back as well. Could DeMax play a role in Patrick's advancements here? For track position, we'll just have to see. Angel now trying to run away from the ongoing battle for second. As Angel gets away, DeMax seems to mean, no, Orman's still there. Nathan Orman is actually just putting on a class of how to apply pressure, and he's also a rookie, mind you, for GM Team USA. A pretty controversial call there for Orman to be included under team, especially when he's a rookie, but he seems to be proving his worth already. Patrick Smith already through on both DeMax and Orman is now in second, but a bit of a mistake there from Patrick Smith's going to allow the 3 to come back at him. Now Orman going to try to take second from the 66. Patrick Smith had a penalty from Mexico. I believe he had a grid penalty coming into this race that was not previously mentioned per the news items that was covered in pre-race. But Smith now up to second place. He has a shot to win the sprint race. If he plays his cards right with Sean Angel. Angel trying to run away as best he can, but he is running on borrowed time at the moment as he's making a mistake. Headed down the S-curve, down the hill. And it's only a matter of time before Smith and DeMax catch and dispatch him from the lead. And I believe that's Rio Lucas back there. Back in 5th place, 6th place. Maybe, if he can get the positions from Morales, in which he does with relative ease. And is that a Neucom back there? I think that's Tamura back there. That might be. As Sakamoto, having an even worse day, runs herself off course entering the final corner. Yeah, I'm definitely questioning why she's still running out there on track, because you got another car hit pit road at the end of lap 6, in lap 7 now. Hirose now on Dylan Schwallenberg for what is the final point, same position. Contact between the two, but she doesn't care. Hirose is through. And back in points paying position goes car number 1. She may not score many points today, but she is proving why she is a multi-time drivers champion. Brilliant pass there by Reno Hirose. And she's going to try to make a charge there on Max Canati for 14th place. Wow, I can't get over how good of an overtake that was there from Hirose. That was a masterclass driving there from car number 1. And she's at Neucom for a reason. Next lap, Sean Angel is under a ton of pressure now from Patrick Smith, the fellow Canadian compatriot, is doing everything he can in the less desired equipment. Smith is going to force Angel a little bit wide at the top of the crest, and Smith goes through. Damax looking to go through as well, almost takes himself out the same way Hirose did in the feature, but you got to give Angel some credit here. He's attacking the 66 again. You got to give him credit for defending as best he can. This is a car that isn't even supposed to be a points-paying car at all. And Angel has already scored many, many points in the last few rounds. He's still in the top 20 in points, if I recall correctly. And now Angel trying to go through Patrick Smith one more time, but to no avail. The equipment difference is what's going to really do him in here. So Angel now falling into the clutches of Orman for second, and maybe Damax for third, if he's not careful. There's Lucas and Tamura lurking as well. That's a big moment there for Angel. He's had these moments for several laps now. This could get pretty sketchy if someone decides to set it in there and Angel is run wide down the S section, down the hill. But really effort nevertheless. Mitchell Carter now on Naomi Osakawa and Scott Roush. This is all for 19th place. So not a points-paying position quite, but Carter has not been able to advance as much. Wow, look at the 18 of Veronica Ryan setting it in there for 3 wide. And yeah, it's reported Tamura has gone through to Max for position. So Tamura taking advantage of her sprint race pace. And yeah, should do exactly that. She's going to follow instructions to a T here. Back to this battle here. Roush having held off the 88. Roush makes a huge mistake off the exit of turn 2. A very overzealous move is going to cost Roush 1, if not 2 trap positions, as it does here with Naomi Osakawa now looking to do battle with the 88. Again, there's really no reason to battle that much there, as we get a yellow flag for an incident here. This is Martin van der Zijde. We haven't mentioned him much before, as Hunter Vislavsky. Okay. Huh. Just sends him around. Yeah, stewards are definitely looking into that one. That was not a safe move to make there. Well, that didn't take long. They were very keen on penalizing the 44 for that one. Osakawa through on Mitchell Carter for 20th. Right now, it's getting a bit tight with a pressure contact with Roush contact with Van Dalen. They're both in the tire wall, and that's a big crash right there. That is, with 3 laps to go, another safety car is deployed. So let's have a look at what happened here. Roush got a bit ambitious, so did Veronica Ryan, but Van Dalen getting completely blindsided there by Mitchell Carter. That's going to put both Roush and Carter out of the race. Not that any of these 4 would have scored points anyway, but a less than desired result for all 4 drivers nevertheless. So this race is going to end under safety car. So what's becoming the leaders right now? Patrick Smith has a pretty sizable lead between himself and Sean Angel. Angel holding off Nathan Norman as best he can into the last corner. I think he's going to be able to do it successfully. Yuki Tamura applying the pressure onto 3 as well for what could be the final podium spot in a sprint race. But Patrick Smith is going to win under the safety car. And this is Patrick Smith's first win. And P13 for Reno Hirose. But as I mentioned, this will be Smith's 6th win 4th sprint race win of his career. Angel, having led the most laps, and will come home in 2nd. Orman, great podium result for him. His rookie campaign is already going pretty swimmingly as it is. Tamura in 4th. Rio Lucas is going to round out your top 5. Demax falls to 6th. Arturo Morales in 7th. Jeffrey Finguy comes home in 8th after a solid finish in this feature race. Kei Takahashi, P9. Bosi Markijanovic rounding out your top 10. Fabio Vitabasa with another points finish in 11th. Kiki Laukkanen in 12th. It's a double points day for Subaru Racing Team, so it's a great day for them. Renault Hirose coming back from 36th to 13th. Round of applause for car number 1. I've never seen that kind of drive in a long time. She got around Max Canati for what was 14th, or was for 13th. Kirk Vandenberg will round out your points-paying positions for the sprint race. And what a dramatic turn of events that we've seen here this weekend for the round of Spain. A very dramatic weekend there, with Scott Roush winning off of a pit strategy to Patrick Smith's brilliant speed in the sprint race, allowing him to get his first sprint win of the year. Looking at your championship right now, Eugene DeMax holds a mere 2-point gap between himself and Yuki Tamura. Now things are getting really close between both drivers, and I don't expect things to cool off anytime soon. Fabio Vitabasa will climb to P3 in a Drivers' Championship. He's now going to be a dark horse threat for the title. Rookie Kei Takahashi in 4th, 1 point above Jeffrey Finguy, followed by Rio Lucas and Vincenzo Focasato, teammates that are separated by a point. Followed by Nathan Norman, and a tie for 9th between Patrick Smith and Hunter Swislowski. We'll see what comes of those penalties afterward. Mitchell Carter in 11th, Renault Hirose down to 12th. She's got a lot to recover as she wants to get back in this title fight. 99 points is not impossible, but it's a very tall order to have. Blake Warren and Bosi Markijanovic. Markijanovic's good performances is putting him in the top 15. Arturo Morales is 15th. The last driver in the triple digits. Sean Angel and Scott Roush are tied for 16th with 90 points after Roush's victory here today. Kirk Vandenberg, Tatiana Rosales, 18th and 19th, and rounding out your top 20 with 58 points is Marco Costeca for the Red Bull BMW team. So this is seeing how the championship is heading out right now. It is a 2-horse fight between Tamura and Max, but anything can change as we head to Great Britain for the round of Silverstone. Until next time.